Hail and well met, and welcome to Dungeon Mastiff, a channel about creating original D&D content right here for you. Please consider supporting us on Patreon at Dungeon Mastiff, or subscribing to let us know you've liked this channel. Today's quick note is a huge thank you for all the support recently. We are well past 200 subscribers now, so thank you guys so much. My new goal is 300 subscribers by the end of August. And I know it doesn't sound like a lot, but since I'm such a small channel, I value every single one of you that subscribes so much. Alright, today I'll be going back to my roots a little more with a Dungeondraft video. I'll be making a 1 minute, 10 minute, and 1 hour map and sort of explaining the process that I go through when making a map. Alright, let's dive right in. Alright, here we are on the main screen once again. I'll just go into here and create a new map. It's going to be 10 by 10 tiles. Yep. Alright, here we go. And while it's loading in, I'll just quickly tell you the plan for the map I have. So I want this to be like a grass background, while having like 2 paths that are branching off into like different sections. It's like a really quick idea that's gonna just take only 1 minute to create. So we'll just drop in the paths really quick, just up here, up down here, and then there's gonna be one on the bottom left down here, if I can finish this off, down here, where it's gonna just make, oh no, don't do that, okay. I don't have enough time for this. Okay, it's just going to branch off into 2 like this, and it's just going to be a simple 3-way road like so. Alright, now we're going to go get the sand and quickly, oh, I only have like 30 seconds left. Alright, we're going to quickly drop in the sand, and then after that, if we have time, just quickly turn the intensity up to 8. Drop the sand in, and then after that, if we have time, we're going to put in some trees. I can't really refine this path all too much. I'm just going to drop it in super quickly. Then we go to the scatter tool. Oh, 10 seconds. Oh my goodness. Alright, trees. Down here to the trees here, and then quickly drop in like 2 or 3 on each one. And, oh, just in time. Just in time. Okay, that was the 1 minute map in Dungeondraft. Alright, moving on to the 10-minute map, I have a little bit more time, so I'll explain to you guys the plan. So, I have, my goal here is to make, like, these 3 islands that are, like, floating in the void, and one of them's gonna have, like, some trees on it, one of them's gonna have, like, a little campsite on it, and then the other one's gonna have, like, a little fishing spot on it, where the guy who's camping here is going to, you know, go and fish. So, we're gonna do that. I'll make the islands real quick. And now that those basic shapes are made, let's fill them in. We'll drop in some grass, or maybe some moss, because that might go a little better with the void. Also, we need some trees to populate this island, and for more color, maybe cherry trees will work the best. Now for the fishing spot. Maybe, actually, that doesn't look too great. So, actually, I'll change this to, like, maybe we can make this like a completely underwater island. That might work. With, like, something under the water. Yeah, but I don't know. I'll come back to that later. And now we need a bridge to connect the campsite to the underwater area. And actually, speaking of the campsite island, we have to quickly make that. And now that we've got the campsite, let's add some grass highlights to the moss islands, and also some sand for some paths, and also for the bottom of that water on the underwater island. Also, some nice ambient lighting will work really well here, as well as like an orange light on the campfire, and in the water to add a sort of ethereal feel to the map. And also, maybe we can drop in some lamps over here to also light up these darker spots. Alright, coming back to the underwater island, I think the thing that could be under the water, it could be a bunch of treasure, which is why the adventurer like came all the way out here, you know, to earn his riches. That might be cool. Let's just do that. Oh, there's less than a minute left. Alright, let's quickly add the final touches. Some bushes. And that's it. We made the 10-minute map in just the nick of time. I'm really happy with this, but I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. But it's time to go to the map you've all been waiting for. The 1 hour map. Alright, now it's time for the 1 hour map. For this one, my plan is just basically, I don't know, I had just kind of a rough idea in my mind. I want it to be a sort of like druid campsite in this forest. Maybe there's like a river running through to break it up. And actually, you know what might be cool? Some sort of like Stonehenge sort of area around the campsite. Just, I don't know, maybe that just like brings to mind druids to me, you know. That might be cool. Yeah, we'll go with that. So I'll set the background as moss for this, and let's just quickly drop a quick plan for the river in here. Alright, now let's start on the Stonehenge area. These rocks aren't quite big enough, so we're gonna have to scale up these, but that doesn't look too great. But, you know, we can always change it later. Also, we can add the druid campsite with some green tents, a sleeping bag, and a campfire, and that will be good. And now for the cliffs along the edge of the river. And a bridge with ropes going across it. Let's also drop in some sand paths quickly going in all 4 directions and centered on the campsite, and do our like blending technique of changing the intensities of the terrain. You'll see what I mean. Alright, that's looking good. Now for the forest. And using the 3-layered technique that I always use, it will give a really good result. So let's do that quickly. First with the trees, then now the bushes, then the flowers. Also, finally, adding some dead stumps to break up the trees will look good, I think. Yeah, that looks good. That looks good. Let's repeat that on the other sides. Let's also quickly drop in a quick animal pen, maybe to give it some detail. We can have it like broken at one edge, like the animals inside escaped. I don't know, maybe just having like a normal fence will look better. Let's do that. And we'll fill in some of the more forest areas that we left blank before. Alright, now that we've done that, let's just quickly change the bottom to dirt. Before adding in some ambient lighting and a point on the campfire. Returning to the river, let's drop in some rocks. With smaller rocks around the edges. And finally some currents, ripples, and waterfalls to round everything out. Now that that's done, we should add some more light to these darker areas near the edge of the map where it's just forest. My idea for this is to add some candles. Just like that. That's looking pretty good so far, but there's still around 25 minutes left, and there's still a lot to do, so I'd better hurry. Also, like, zooming out this far, with this many objects on the map, it's getting a little laggy, so I might need to zoom in closer in future just to prevent the lag, sorry for that. Up next, we're going to change these rocks from a bunch of scaled up rocks to some collections of smaller rocks and see how that looks. Looking much better. Also, adding leaves here might make this feel more druidic and natural. And while I'm at it, I should drop some leaves around the rest of the forest and see how that looks. I reckon that looks a lot better, but it is certainly not helping the lag. Alright, next we're going to finish up the forest down the bottom of the map, and we're going to change it up a little down here. I think that the druids here need like a food source, and maybe they can survive off some sort of natural berries that grows here in the forest, and so this area can be populated by a bunch of berry bushes. Alright, let me just drop them in quickly. And there we go. Just adding in some stumps to break it up a little, and we'll be done with the bottom part of this map. Now, I just need to sprinkle some candles around and add some lighting to it. And great. But I need to take a quick break, so while I do that, please take a second to go down and subscribe, and maybe leave a quick comment on how you thought the maps turned out, or some feedback for me in the future. Anything is greatly appreciated by me, and since I'm such a small channel, it means all that much more. Alright, let's get back to it. First, I want to see just how lighting the campsite with just the candles looks. Not that great. So let's relight the campfire and also add some light to the rest of the candles on the posts of the bridge. Great. Now, let's go down to the bottom of the map and finish off that with some leaves and flowers. As well as with the animal pen. Now, let's spruce up the Stonehenge rocks with some vines. Add some light to the water. And detail to the campsite with crates, barrels, and the like. Then let's move on to the animal pen and add some actual life there, like sheep and pigs, and while we're doing that, let's just drop some birds' nests and birds around the map. There's just about 3 minutes left, so we're really down to the final details here, like mushrooms all around the path, and finishing detailing the campsite. And I think we're done. I'm really happy with this map, despite it being super laggy, but I think for an hour's work, this turned out really well. Let me know down in the comments what you think. So that was making a 1 minute, 10 minute, and 1 hour map in Dungeondraft. Next week, I'll have a new video based off of this comment, where I'll compare 3.5 and 5th D&D editions, so keep an eye out for that. As always, thanks so much for watching, please consider subscribing, and I'll see you in the next one.